Has this ever happened to you?
Hey, did you hear they're making a Captain America movie?
Yes, I am so excited, but admittedly worried about how they're going to handle the Bucky situation, since most people were apprehensive with the Winter Soldier picking up the mantle of the Sentinel of Liberty following Cap's murder during the Civil War storyline, only to be reborn again, even though this is totally in line with the character's Golden Age portrayal.
Whatever, loser. God, geek overload.
It's hard to deal with too much information as a casual fan or comic book neophyte.
Oh, I suppose it's my fault for not knowing who is the crime syndicate of the universe.
But it can be just as difficult to be enthusiastic and not push newbies away.
I don't want to offend anyone just because I know what I know. I'm not trying to
Crush the puny humans!
Well, yeah. We have the answer. The Alter Ego's comic book podcast will help bridge the gap between ultra fanboys and nouveau comic observers, so we can all get along, sit at the proverbial table of brotherhood, and once again be part of the human race.
What?
Oh, sorry, too much. That's the Alter Ego's comic book podcast, unleashing to the world October 23rd, 2010. Look us up at www.alteregos.com. That's spelled ALT3REDEGOS.com. Or give us a call at 615-669-EGOS. The Alter Ego's Comic Book Podcast, bridging the gap between observation and obsession.
What, you couldn't have picked a more complicated address?
What? Comicbooks.com was already taken.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
Alright, chillin'. Guess what it is? What it is? What is it?
Thursday?
Besides that?
October...
It's Mean Geek time!
Oh, if only that were clear.
Oh, what? We're sitting here with microphones on. How can it be less clear?
Do I have beer?
You have beer.
No, it could be any day.
Well, yeah, there's that. When do you have beer and mics? Exactly right. So it's episode 55 of the Mean Geek Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
We're at the big 5-5, huh?
Yeah, we can spit the retirement, really.
Sweet.
I love butts. We're watching Iron Man right now, and he just got to the Stark
Iron Man
Expo.
2, to clear that up a little
Yes,
bit.
just to be certain. And he's got those dancers in those skimpy outfits. God damn, do I wish I was Tony Stark.
On many levels.
Absolutely. Suits of armor, incredible genius.
You can actually fit in suits.
Tech you can... jackass. Tells the Senate to fuck off.
Does he?
Oh, you wait. You should put the subtitles on.
Nah, because I have not yet seen this film.
Ah. Yes, and that's a sad thing. I got it just Tuesday.
And you've already watched it?
Well, sure.
No, how many times?
Why would I wait? Just once.
Okay. So it's not like the day you bought Platoon and you were so excited that you watched it again in French
that's
the moment
not
later?
how it happened. I was between jobs and I had nothing else to do. I had just gotten a DVD player. I only had 6 discs.
Which were?
Platoon, The Matrix, a Kevin Smith movie, a Star Trek movie.
2, presumably.
Yes. Had to have been. Please tell me it was 2. And something I've probably lost by now.
Well, hard to believe you're single.
What?
I'm just saying, if you use that DVD collection as a overview, a certain single maleness.
I get this shit from the general public. I don't need to eat it off of you as well.
Hey, that is my role here, is to feed the shit that the general public can't bring to the table.
They can, and they do. So get different with it, you fuck.
Yay, public.
Anyway, so what happened was I was bored. I was between jobs. I played it, I was like, all right, let's see what it's like in Spanish. I put it in Spanish with English subtitles.
Right.
And then I put it in Spanish with French subtitles.
Oye, como nam.
And I found out that the French word for asshole is ton cul. It was the only recognizable word at that juncture on that screen at that moment.
God help us.
I was fucking bored.
I do see your point.
I had no money, no gas, no job. I had reread every comic I had like 12 times. At any rate, it's episode 55. We've wasted 3.5 minutes talking about absolutely fucking nothing, which is still better than the sponsorships that you hear for 30 minutes in most other podcasts.
But no one gives us shit, so...
No.
We live in minutia.
Nobody has gone to any website and bought any comics just because they heard it on a podcast. No? The places I buy comics online, I did not hear about on podcasts. Heard about them in blogs, but not podcasts. So, unless some store like DCBS or whichever one Comic Timing used to have, unless they start giving me money to talk about them, you won't find a sponsorship here.
No?
Nope.
In Connecticut.
That's not really a sponsorship. He doesn't give us money.
Good point.
He doesn't give us anything, really.
Good point.
At any rate, when it was in Connecticut, it was Kurt's. So, where do you want to start?
Well, you have
Batman and Robin 14.
That is apparently where I want to start.
Grant Morrison and Fraser Irving. Grant fucking Morrison.
Yeah.
I think that this guy walks around town and he hears snatches of conversation and he splices them together and he writes them down as dialogue. That's what I think.
So you think he actually lives in an area where there's a Mr. Pig and a...
No, I think he hears like 2-3 words out of a sentence and then he goes a block and he hears another 4 or 5 words out of a sentence and he just mashes them around until he's got a word balloon.
I'll tell you what. Normally, I hate when you do this, but open that book, flip through it, and find me an example of this, because that's very weird, and I don't believe that. I think your hatred of Grant Morrison is now so legendary.
I see the multitudes of the mother goat. Goats in Gotham, gods in its heaven, piggy in its sty.
And that is the insane character named Mr. Pig, right? Yeah. Or Mr.
Yeah.
You know...
Mr. Pig. Professor Pig.
Professor Pig. Professor Pig did it in the cave with the bat. Alright, it's very hard for me to argue this when I'm dealing with Professor Pig, to be fair.
Now, I've seen things like this on t-shirts. I'm not crazy, I'm differently sane.
It does have a t-shirt vibe to it.
It does. It totally does. So, I'm not reaching beyond when I think that Grant Morrison gets most of his ideas out of thin fucking air.
Well, here's a point, though. Think of how easy it would be to slightly change the comic and have that line come out of Batman.
That would be very difficult. They'd have to have him tripping on, like,
no, not really.
Acid or
Think
something.
about it. Like, say it in a dark, scary Batman voice. Right now.
Let me find it again.
I'm not crazy.
I see the multitudes
No,
of the
not
mother
that
goat.
one. No, that line is useless.
What? Which one?
The differently sane one. Say it in a Batman voice.
I'm not mad at all. I'm just differently sane.
Still sounds dumb. Particularly out of Batman himself.
I don't know.
He doesn't consider... He thinks that in Batman's mind, he is the only one that's sane, really.
What about Robin?
He's the one that sees clearly...
Yeah, but in this case, we are dealing with Bat Dick.
Don't say that anymore. Dick Grayson Batman, if you're going to differentiate it that way.
No.
Okay? If you're going to... No more Bat Dick.
It's Bat Dick and Robin from here on out.
No. I can't have that.
Bucky Cap and Bat Dick, sir.
Bucky Cap is an acceptable one. Bat Dick, too many strange implications.
Bat Dick. See?
I just want you to know, and I have no problem with this because I'm not ever going to run for office. There is no way that anyone is ever going to hold this against me in any way that I will worry about.
All right.
I finished downloading Vivid Video's Batman porn parody.
Please be kidding.
Nope, not at all.
Would that be, by any chance, called Bat Dick?
Nope. Just Batman, a porn parody. Set in the 60s. Everything's in the theme of the 60s show. 2 hours.
Oh, dear God.
I skipped the sex scenes.
You skipped the sex scenes in a point.
Well,
so
I
you
mean,
can
those
get
are
to
pretty standard. Just people banging. I mean, everybody...
Did it have little word balloons like, bang, suck?
A couple of them here. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Ron Jeremy made an appearance.
As...
A random guy hanging out a window talking to Batman and Robin as they were climbing up. Trying to get him to come in and bang some girls he had.
Please be kidding.
I'm totally not kidding.
Like, this is appalling.
It's awesome.
I don't want to live in this
Joker's
world
there.
anymore.
They got Jeff Stryker to be the Joker.
Who's Jeff Stryker?
He's an 80s porn star.
Okay.
Cesar Romero style Joker.
Is it mustache?
Mustache and everything.
Wow. Stryker.
I don't even know her.
That's airplane humor. All right, so back to Batman and Robin.
Nice aside there.
Yes,
back to Batman and Robin. What can we say?
Do you understand it?
No, not
you
in the
like
least. Not for much longer, I don't. I'll tell you that. I don't get it. And I heard Morrison is going away, so I have hope now. There have been issues where things have been cogent, and the only strangeness was the actual villains like Professor Pig, who just didn't, hit me or anything. And even in this issue, there's, the opening sequence is fine. Damian is beating the piss out of the Joker because he's fucking Damian, and it's the Joker. But, of course, Joker turns it around with his poisoned makeup, and he gets his smiling, laughing young Daredevil the way he likes it. I don't know if I like him saying that's the way he likes his Robins.
I will say the line, "Oh, look, and you even bought your own crowbar."
Yes, that was clever. Not clever. That was a nice throwback is what it was.
It was also clever.
All right, it was clever.
So Batman and Robin is painting you a bit.
It is. I'm done with the weirdness, man. I want my detective. I like crime. I want him to deal with crime, not insane jackasses.
He's always dealt with insane jackasses.
Yeah, but they're always trying to commit crimes. Professor Pig is just doing shit because he's nuts.
Well, so's the Joker, for the most part.
The Joker is over the top nuts and commits crimes.
So it's like, well, I'm pretty sure most of what Professor Pig does
It's a matter
is
of
illegal.
scale, degree, and style.
What about the Flamingo? With the red hood. I mean, there's been criminals in Batman and Robin.
The Flamingo?
I mean, Professor Pig was going around gluing people's faces into doll. All right, yeah, actually,
Yeah, but for
proving
what
your
purpose?
point as I'm saying it. Well, for fun. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, see? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't know why he did that shit. He was trying to make perfect little piggy people. Perfect little piggy people.
Sounds like an REM song that I would not like. That's all I'm saying. Everybody.
Or an REM song.
Yeah. I've got my pig. I've got my orange crush.
Perfect little piggy people.
Wow.
Holding hands.
No, well, of course. All right, so
No,
yeah.
I don't need him anymore. Done with him.
So, done with
Finito.
Bat Dick.
Stop saying that.
What? It's a perfectly valid way. I mean, because we're talking about Batman, but we're not actually talking about Batman, right?
Grayson Batman?
Horrible.
Richard Batman.
Really? Does he go by Richard a lot? Would you prefer Dick Bat?
Dick Batman is still not good.
I'm going to stand with Bat Dick flows off the tongue, as you've told me many a time. And that is not going to be the title of it.
Totally not the title. Done with this entire line of conversation. All finished. Incorruptible.
I'd just like to say, Julio, that entire conversation was for you.
I'm sure it was. Incorruptible. New art by Horacio Dominguez.
Mm-hmm.
Or as white guys would say it, Horacio Dominguez. Horacio.
I like Horatio.
Horacio's fine. Horacio. Sounds South American and very mysterious.
Well, I mean, you know,
he sounds like the most interesting man in the world.
Well, yeah, or Miami Vice drug lord, the way you're doing it.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Yes. So, Sonny Crockett, you know, I mean.
We find out that there wasn't always just jailbait, and either jailbait has gone to the point where she just doesn't want to be anything but jailbait ever, or she's totally fucking with Max because she tells him that Annie's not here.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. What do you mean there wasn't always just
There was
jailbait?
another jailbait apparently at some point, and he got a new sidekick and renamed her Jailbait, much like Robin's.
Wow, what a weird concept to carry over.
Yeah, young boys, young girls, and you know, they find a gang who like getting beat up by superheroes. That's weird.
That is creepy.
They dig it.
Didn't well, they had that in Watchmen, the graphic novel.
Which one? Which guy?
Remember the Silk Spectre, and this is why you keep me around, because I remember the most random, pointless shit known to man. The Night Owl and Silk Spectre on their date are talking about some pervy criminal, and then Rorschach dropped him down an elevator shaft. Ending the story.
Because we never met the guy, so it was half a conversation in like 2 pages. Mm-hmm. So, okay, yeah. So I guess, you know, psychologically speaking, there would be a few people out there like that. Sure. It's not something you want to think about, but it's easy enough to believe. Creepy ass.
Hey, well, you know, supervillains are kind of creepy. I mean, that's
these aren't really villains. They're just people doing shit so they could get the attention of superheroes, so they could get the piss beat out of them by them.
Which makes no sense in the current culture, because of course, you know, the main hero is a 9 million murdering psychopath. So it's not like you're going to get a rough spanking and sent to bed with no dinner. You make it melted into goo by I-beams of Tony the Plutonian.
Ugh. There's someone who had... Well, the Plutonian dated somebody, found out his secret, and...
Yeah, remember, this was all...
Turned it into a
key parts of
book.
Irredeemable.
Yeah, but they're recapping it here, and I'm not entirely certain why.
Because she was captured by
that's what
Max Damage.
Yeah.
Jailbait tortured her, and now she's going to beat the shit out of Jailbait. What a horrible sentence. On a side point, if you were a supervillain, wouldn't you really want to call the Plutonian Pluto? Like, why has no one done that yet?
You totally would.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
But Max and Plutonian haven't actually crossed paths yet.
I'm just saying, like, so far, no one has brought up the, you know, none of these heroes who are fighting him.
These are people who are frightened to whisper anything about him because he's standing up in orbit waiting to hear something so he can go kill people.
Yeah, the goo from I-beams.
Yes.
I'd still do it, and I think we can all agree that that would happen.
You know what? Why don't you say his name really, really loudly?
Pluto.
More.
No, people are sleeping.
Pluto! He said it.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about a comic book.
Bill said it.
Life.
What?
You know.
Oh, man.
All right. So, how do you feel about?
I thought these were historical documents.
Jackass. Where are you now? This has been going on a while now. I mean, this is what issue of Incorruptible?
This one is 9. This is only 9.
What issue of Irredeemable are they on?
That is 17. And they
where
still
are you
haven't
this
crossed
book now?
paths yet. Because we still haven't really seen Max. Max has attempted to be a good guy, and he's laid down his own rules for what he defines as being a good guy. Mm-hmm. He understands why he's doing it in his own head, but I think he feels he's... Scarlett Johansson just walked on the screen. Moment of silence. All done.
Bum, 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 bum.
Where was I? He's getting his good guy persona together in his head, and now I think that he thinks he has to do something to prove it to the world before they'll have faith enough in him for him to go after the Plutonian.
I don't think really anything about his character says that he cares in any way. I think he's just recouping, he went through the experience. He's a changed man. Now he's just changed the nth degree. It's almost like a religious conversion. You know what I mean? Like he's so good now that he's equally ridiculous as he was bad.
Yes. But that leads us, I mean, he's gotten to the point where what's really keeping him from going up against Tony? Tony's got to be knowing he's doing all this shit. He knows everything.
A, they're two separate books, and B, obviously, Tony has several other things, like 2,000 other things going on, and Max is trying to find a way to go up against the Plutonian.
Well, why don't they hurry up? It's been 9 issues.
Okay, well, that is one way of looking at it, certainly.
No, that was totally pointless. That was just something to say. They can take their time about it, but I would like to see a little more progress in that particular direction.
All right.
I mean, he could go find the rest of the paradigm and start developing a plan. That would be nice.
Do you think they take
because there was how much tension could you build between that group and him?
I'm just curious. Like, do you think before all this happened, the paradigm had like a monitoring station? Like, back in the old Justice League days?
It's very possible, yeah.
Do you think they took turns working it?
Knowing these characters, they may have, but not.
So that would be a paradigm shift? Oh, yeah! You walked right into the stupidest pun of the day, sir. Next book.
You fucking suck. God damn. They're twist-offs.
I know that now.
Oh, and that's the aforementioned Irredeemable 17, where what's his face here? Cubit runs around
getting his ass whipped by the local civilians for not wanting to kill the Plutonian
while he's helping them.
Well, to be fair,
salt of the earth, my ass. He put their tractor back together, made sure it never needed gasoline, probably souped it up quite substantially too, and then they're like, oh, you're not going after the Plutonian who killed so many of us? We'll
including my
you.
wife, I believe the guy who punched him said.
There's always somebody in their fucking wife.
Yeah. How dare he be upset about his dead wife?
It's just a device that gets so fucking overused.
Oh, well, yeah, well,
I had a loved one that was died because of this, and you didn't stop it. It's happening over in Superman right now.
But I think there's a key aspect of this that Irredeemable has always kind of taken the cliches and switched them slightly.
That really wasn't much of a switch at all.
Well, in a sense it is, because obviously you're talking about killing a hero. And that's Cubit's point, is that how much has he done for us? How do we make that distinction? And therein lies the difference. Not killing the Joker is one moral argument. Not, because the Joker's like king of all douche.
I don't know.
I mean, sure, really... Joker fish were kind of funny, but in general, all he's done is raise havoc and kill people. Whereas in the Plutonian, you have a guy who saved the entire world a bajillion
multiple times. Yes.
How do you suddenly go, okay, now you're a dick, let's kill you?
Well, you get one planet saving taken away for each person killed. How about that?
Nah, that's the math. Like, who makes those decisions, and that's why it's the difference.
All right, well, he killed 9 million.
That's the
Let's take each planet saving, and for every 100 people killed is taken away.
Could imagine if it was even. Like, how fucked up
that
would you feel?
That would be fucked up.
Like, holy crap!
They're like, you just got to go live on the moon. We'll call it even.
Like, didn't you ever use the bathroom?
Just
how
don't
often
come
are you
back.
saving
It's
the
okay. Well, if you jack it up to like 100 or 1,000,
And from there we go to the big reveal at the end.
That Kaidan can speak to ghosts?
Well,
no! Although that's eventually going to be important?
Yeah, I don't understand Kaidan at all. I really, like, the characters
that'll be important
in this book,
one day.
You have the Plutonian, and then you have some other people who are doing things. Like,
Well, the big reveal
Gilgamesh is missing a wing and has wife issues, and his wife slept with the Plutonian. Cubit is a superpowered dork whose powers no one fully understands. Scylla and Charybdis, what's his name now?
Charybdis.
I like my version. What's his name now? What's he calling himself?
Who?
The Sacred Cow. Whichever one's not dead, except they're both not dead now.
The
apparently.
Sacred Cow?
Yeah, he changed his
The
name.
sidekick.
No. That's Sam.
Modius is the guy who made the robots because he was in love with the Plutonian.
Say their names. Scylla and...
Charybdis.
One of them died.
Yeah.
And the other one got the power of both.
Right.
And took on a new name.
Oh, yeah. He was this guy back here in the front of the book.
He was this guy in the front of the book. And of course they killed Volt, which is the one pronounceable, easy to remember. Thanks for that. The one-armed Volt.
And the one black guy. So...
Well, this is not a horror movie. There's no reason he had to go.
They don't actually mention his name in here. That's...
back when I was working with at one of my jobs, I had a friend who was black, and of course, he was talking to me one day. He's like, there's a lot of people, we see the same people every day. What if this was a horror movie? Who do you think would survive? I'm like, well, dude, you're black, and I'm 10 years older than everybody else, so we're fucked. Following the rules, we're not going no place.
Yeah, the two of you together cover both of the...
Plus, I worked in the back room, and it was all dark.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, did anyone hear a noise? Where's old Bill?
Hey, you cover the first reel of the movie together.
I'll have a cat back there that survived somehow. Covered in my blood. No, I'm just doomed. Alright, so...
And the reveal is that Modius made another robot.
We were working on the guy's name. You were supposed to be looking up while I was telling that.
It's not in there.
Alright. Let me see this thing.
Fine. But it's not.
Alright. So, yes, the big reveal, of course, is that Modius is in love
with Tony.
With Plutonian. If they had a kid, would that be Plumodius?
Stop that right now. I don't know why you do these things to me, man. It's just totally insane. It's not strictly funny. Neither am I, but you need to be better. Because I'm so bad. Keep looking. Alright, so we're at the race in Monaco in Iron Man 2.
Let's see. Okay, they use his real name, Kerry.
So, you're going to hate Sam Rockwell in this flick. You may like him in other things, but his version of Justin Hammer is probably going to piss you off.
Really?
Yep.
Actually, I love Sam Rockwell in most things. I mean, all right. So, where are they going to go with the Modius in Samsara's head?
Samsara? Is that who it is?
Yep. Survivor. There he is.
Oh, he called himself. He called himself Survivor because he's the Survivor. Mark Waid, what have you done to me?
All right, so what is the take right now on Irredeemable?
I'm digging it. It keeps me engaged, but I really don't know how long they can draw this out.
So not quite on par with the first couple issues where you were totally enthralled with it.
Oh, yeah. Because I really didn't expect it to go, 17, 18, probably a good 2 years before they get any denouement. And I heard an interview with Wade, and he says he has no plans to end it. So...
Hey,
So either he's going to have to ramp up the current arc, end it, and figure something else out. Because it seemed like they were going to end it when they found out about the magic candle that they kind of wasted instead of taking advantage of it. And then now that little bit of wax that old girl saved when they were banging is gone.
Let's be clear, though. How annoyed would you be if they had ended this book on a magic candle? I'm stammering at how shocked. Oh my God, they just pulled out a magic candle, and that's how they beat the Plutonian.
Well, apparently his powers are largely supernatural.
Nevertheless, How upset would you be if a magic candle was responsible for ending the book?
You know, if they treated it as a whole Deus Ex and went from there and just, oh, look, now we pulled out the candle, now you're defeated. And it was real fast and there was no real dramatic tension to it or anything. Yeah, I'd be plenty pissy.
Which is kind of what they threw the candle out there and then it went away. Yeah, it was not going anywhere. I'm ecstatic they did not use the candle to full effect. All right, what's next?
Birds of Prey number 5.
And what's your personal Tech Jedi big reveal for Birds of Prey?
The big reveal, because we're a spoiler podcast, is that...
Oh, no, not the book. Your own personal one.
My
about
personal
Bird of Prey.
one. Oh, I watched the first disc and a half of the TV show.
Yeah.
Because the second disc was all buggered the fuck up.
Oh.
It was just scratched to shit. You couldn't get past the credits on the third episode on the second disc. So, if they had called it anything else and it was just a bunch of females getting together to fight crime,
yeah,
it might have been okay.
Probably not.
But it had the irritating knack of taking things that, you know, I knew of intimately and well, like, you know, Huntress's history, you know, Black Canary's abilities and origin and all that stuff, and, you know, they just swapped it around, but they didn't really make it unique enough to say, wow, that was a clever way to change it. It was just, oh, a runaway, a cripple, and a half meta. And I'm like, a half meta? Neither Catwoman nor Batman are meta, so why would their daughter be only half meta? I mean, if she was just a straight up mutant, that would be one thing. But why would Huntress be...
Wait, she's Batman and...
Catwoman's
daughter?
Yeah.
In this?
In this.
In the television show?
Yeah.
Not in actuality.
Not anymore.
That was ever a point?
Before Crisis, yeah. Pre-Crisis.
Holy suck butt.
Yeah, it was like it was like Earth 3 or something.
Earth 3 is so the crappiest of all the Earths.
You don't even know that.
You just know that on Earth 3 they're like, God damn it, everybody else got a better reality.
Are you sure that the Zoo Crew Earth wasn't...
I love the Zoo Crew.
Captain Carrot's Amazing Zoo Crew. Right. Earth what?
Pig Iron.
Earth what?
I don't remember the name.
Oh, come on. What Earth were they from?
Hey, I was able to pull up Pig Iron. Alright, if I feel I should get a pass on that.
I was just hoping you would say it because I don't remember.
No, but for those of you playing Mean Geek Bingo, Captain Carrot's Amazing Zoo Crew can now be checked off.
But, you know, the action was kind of decent.
In Captain Carrot?
No, in Birds of Prey TV.
Oh, okay. This was not the reveal I was going for.
What are you talking about then?
You told me something about this book before we started the podcast in regards to you and it.
That I'm not bothering with it anymore?
There you go. That was the big reveal. Which is now like the small reveal.
This is a two-parter, so I'll get the second one of this so I can have it complete because I'm just as big an obsessive doofus about having stories finished as anybody else. Maybe more so, maybe not.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with more.
It's hard to say. So, after all the injuries and after all the fights, the White Canary comes in. She's mad at Black Canary. I'm bored by this.
Don't forget the gay world's best blackmailer and his superly deadly partner and the whole I can feel pain and not remember what day it happened, so I feel it constantly all the time. But I'm not a screaming basket case in a pit somewhere.
So, token kung fu girl with the mask takes her back to Singapore or Beijing or wherever, to Taiwan or wherever the fuck it was.
Madripoor.
Madripoor, yeah. Lady Blackhawk somehow just magically heals fast enough to get into a street fight after a 12-hour plane ride after having something shoved into her heart.
Be fair, I mean, it was by the Penguin. Like, you know, that's...
Hey, a 6-inch shiv is a 6-inch shiv. You get it a millimeter away from your fucking heart.
Yeah, but it's umbrella-shaped, you know? I mean, how deadly can it be?
It's a big chunk of steel, 6 inches long, shoved into your chest.
It probably opened into a bumper chute and healed it. It's probably in there now, protecting her.
Are you done?
I don't like this book at all, and I'm happy it's going away. What do you want from me?
And then it turns out that in a bit of character history that I never fucking knew about Black Canary, she has to take over the mantle of the crimes lord / protector, maybe, of the Asian city and become the White Canary? What?
Now,
did you follow why she had to do that?
I actually didn't read that one.
Great.
Well, because you told me you did that to me all the time, so I was like, just this once, and I will read in the future. I know my role in this is I'm like, boom! Fuck you very much. That's why all my points have been, I don't like it.
Wowee.
There you go. That you've done it to me dozens of times. I read Hit Monkey. I read Chew.
And I totally didn't read Hit. I read Chew.
All right, fair enough.
I read all the Chews. I just didn't like them.
But no,
and I know that makes me a heretic in current independent fucking comic book circles.
Yeah,
but you know, it's all gimmick. Every last bit of it's gimmick to me.
Be cool with your heresy. But no, as far as Birds of Prey go, there's nothing about the. But now with this whole current women empowerment movement that they started again, with particularly in DC, which is doing a lot of books in this movement, wouldn't a Black Canary book
be a whole lot smarter?
Wouldn't over Birds of Prey? First off, the whole Brightest Day aspect.
If they could generate or revamp and develop a single female character strong enough with good enough stories to carry her own book,
Black Canary would seem to be.
She would appear to be the one to do it.
Yep.
And
but no, Power Girl has a book. Satana has a book. Yeah. Black Canary gets this.
Yeah. And I think that she, you know.
And they could have done it if they had drawn out the Green Arrow, her storyline to splitting, and built that up. They could have branched off into her own.
Be independent. But no, she instantly joins this other group of codependent females.
Also Rands.
Yeah, also Rands and codependents.
I don't know. You know, Hawk, Dove, Lady Blackhawk, Huntress, Oracle, and Black Canary.
And we get the theme. They're all winged for the most part.
Doesn't this feel like the Marvel book Heroes for Hire?
It does a bit, yeah. There's no real point to them being together, but occasionally they have an adventure.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah, no. All done.
And that book didn't last either.
No, it didn't. Alright, leading us directly into Powers number 5. Largely a flashback issue.
Yep.
There's a little backstory and familial character development for his new partner. But for the most part, it's just old boy drinking and remembering things.
Now, do you feel that not having read the complete run of the first Powers arc, not arc, but the complete, all the different arcs of the first book, has hampered you at all now that you've started from scratch with Powers 2? I mean, you've read some of them.
No, not at all. I don't think that. There's almost no references to anything that happened prior to this series. When there is, it's a straight up flashback when, like, in this very issue itself. So, no, everything started pretty much fresh with this one.
See, I don't see that. I mean, you've got Dina Pilgrim making a appearance here.
Yeah, but just because I don't know how she left doesn't mean I'm confused. All I need to know is that she left for some reason and he got a new partner.
And then you see him with a sword, which of course he's carried several times throughout his career, which you saw in the flashback. You know, I think there's a lot of subtle references.
Well, I mean, these are all... I'm not new to comics, so I can take my time and discover them as I will. I can dig up Wikipedia or go to the Bendis boards or, you know, heaven forfend, I should buy a new book and actually discover it for myself.
What in Sam fuck is a Bendis board?
That's his little name for his forum. Bendis boards.
Sounds dirty.
News board.
Just doesn't sound...
Comment board.
No, don't like it.
How does... What? Dirty? You don't make any kind of sense, you Luddite. Don't squint at me like you don't know what the hell a Luddite is.
I'll find it. For 10,000, I'll kill it.
Whatever. You just had no gravitas behind that.
Nah, well, what do you know? I'm
and
not
no accent either.
Well, for God's sake, I don't do accents. We've been
I'll
over
find
this.
it. No, that's not it either.
See? I think we need a jaw.
Are you right, Chief?
All right. So,
I'll
Power
find
is kind
it
of a filler issue.
For 10,000,
building.
I'll kill it. Yeah, it's good build-up. It's fine with me. I don't feel like I've missed out on anything at all. It's certainly, I don't consider it a spoiler that suddenly she's back and now I got to learn the story that I missed previously. But I don't. What the frig are you doing with the book on your head?
Practicing for my modeling career, obviously.
You are the single most graceless person I've ever met on the planet. One book sitting down, balanced on your head, is not going to get you poise.
It's a step in the right direction.
Oh, no, it isn't. Take a step, see what happens to that book.
No, I totally enjoy Powers. I love Bendis books, if not Bendis boards. I'm intrigued by where they're going next. But I do think there's a lot of subtle hints to things that happened before, which is a good writing as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, they're very well may be, but I'll find those when I read the rest of the series, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah. It'll be, a pleasant thing. It's not like, fuck, I don't get it because I wasn't there for it originally.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not that comic book reader. And
well,
I hate those people that are.
I think we all are occasionally.
No, but there are guys, it goes back to the spoiler thing. There are people out there who demand timestamps when they listen to podcasts so they know when to stop and when to skip because they just can't handle that, knowing that last panel before they read it themselves. Oh, yeah.
And these podcasts actually do timestamps?
Oh, yeah.
Could we do that?
I don't want to do timestamps. Fuck you.
No, totally. That'd be totally.
You do the work of the timestamps.
No, think about how cool it would be. Bill Belches. Like we
23, 39,
exactly,
40 minutes. No, I'm not doing that.
Discussions about cheese.
No, yeah, you know how long that would take?
I'm okay with your
I like my
time.
little 5-minute, add in the intro, add in the outro, post it.
Do we have an outro?
Yes, we have an outro. God damn. I'm going to start demanding you do some actual work on this stuff.
That does not seem like a good partnership plan at all.
Well, you'll come to appreciate my effort on this thing a little bit more, won't you?
Well, hey, I forgive you for not being funny on a regular basis.
Oh, that's not the same.
All right. What's next?
Tom Strong and the Robots of Doom.
This is my favorite. Issue 4 is my favorite thus far in this one.
This has been a lot of fun.
I haven't really loved the whole Nazi Darrow, but introducing Dr. Permafrost, finding out what happened to Tom's original girlfriend, like, this was fun.
This is what Tom Strong is all about, really.
Weird science and weird people getting together and doing weird things.
Time traveling, lava men, giant robots, strange languages. Punsha, Tom Strong.
Punja!
That's lava speak. I am Tom Strong.
How cool would it be to speak lava? Or
lava
desk?
would be pretty cool. Or desk?
Yeah, another totally random thing.
What's desk?
Well, if you could talk to lava, you could probably talk to your desk. Is my
Oh, a desk. I thought it was like Punjabi or something.
No, not to my knowledge. Just straight desk.
No, if I could talk to desks, I wouldn't, because they're fucking desks.
But you would talk to lava?
Lava men.
Well, I didn't make that point.
Language.
I said
the
lava.
Well, the implication being, since there's lava men in here.
I implicate nothing.
Anyway.
But no, haven't totally loved this series. Love Tom Strong. This was a little, hasn't, but totally enjoyed the introduction of Dr. Permafrost. The hero teaming up with the villain, going after lava while putting on a giant cape and cold weather gear. Like, that's just genius for me. Had a great time with this.
And instead of a reveal, for once we end up with a partnership. implying big things for issue 5 and a stunning Tom Strong super science climax in 6.
It's Team Strong Lava Frost.
Alright, stop making shit up, because it's not working this time. Every time you've made something up this episode, it hasn't made any kind of sense.
I've been
it hasn't
up
been
this
clever.
episode.
Oh? Bat Dick.
That was last episode.
No, that was this one.
Nope, I brought him up last
I'm not making a
time.
new episode. You want me to rewind it?
Not overly. I may have brought it up after the episode. It was last time you were here. I definitely brought up Bat Dick.
Either way, not something.
Your
I wanna be
hatred
hearing.
of Bat Dick is legendary.
Why shouldn't I hate Bat Dick? It's creepy.
Can't argue with that.
You're a creepy cat. Highland Laddie.
What the fuck?
This is a very strange book, and we should not be surprised at its strangeness, given who writes the damn thing.
I didn't read the first one, though, so I literally went into this with no clue.
You didn't?
Nope.
God damn it, I gave you that thing.
Nope.
Yes, I did. Oh, yeah,
We
try
talked
again.
about this last time, too.
No, I gave it to you. So, this is basic. Oh, man, that cat is something horrifying, dude. What is going on over there?
Well, he eats a lot.
Whew. High protein, I'm guessing. So, this guy's got a lot of heart-to-hearts with anybody he can get his hands on. Something happened while he was in America.
In one of the boys that we have not read.
You're right. And he decided it would best to be take some time off, go get his head together. So he drinks a lot with his bizarre friends, one of whom smells so badly that he can't even deal with himself and puts on a gas mask.
Is that what that's about?
That's what that's about. No matter how much he washes or how thoroughly or what emollients he puts on himself.
Emollients, really? Wow.
He just stanks so badly to high heaven it can't be dealt with.
You used emollients and stank in the same sentence.
He should be handing out gas masks to other people, yet he's so bad he can't stand himself.
It's a hard road.
That's a weird bit of character.
You got stink butt.
That's Garth fucking Ennis for you. And then he's got his wannabe TV who doesn't shave.
Well,
Just feels more comfortable in girls' clothes, even though he's this huge, big old Scottish bastard. Oh, it's craziness. So it's flashbacks and heart-to-hearts.
Yeah, not terrible, but confusing and didn't follow it.
And a little bit of crime and a horribly, horribly ugly, obese Scotswoman.
Oh, yeah, which threatened to cut somebody's nuts off with
a hedge clippers. And
now that's the Ennis we know.
That's more like
a giant woman threatening you with hedge clippers. That rings Ennis.
So having established that it's Garth Ennis's penchant for endless fucking dialogue,
you are not a man that appreciates dialogue-heavy books. I mean, you don't hate them, but it's when the tech Jedi walks in the comic book shop, he's not like, "What's got a lot of dialogue?"
I'm not looking for a Kevin Smith movie on a page.
I want an explosion.
Occasionally, at least. Black Widow. Anyway. Yeah, give me some action anyway. I mean, if I wanted nothing but yapping, I'd get Strangers in Paradise. Oh no, I wouldn't, because I fucking hate it.
Plus, you have them all.
No, I don't. Gave them away.
Oh, yeah? Who took those?
Yep. This buddy of a buddy who said she really, really, really enjoyed Terry Moore's work and had to find it, and I'm like, I got tons of this shit you can just have. Paid the postage all the way out to fucking Brooklyn.
Wow.
Called it even. Didn't help that she was hot.
Yeah, very little in life is more convincing to you than that.
What? You're hot? I'll give you a free comics. That's okay.
Because so often that's successful without women.
Hey, you know what? Occasionally it's going to work. One day.
It is to dream.
We'll find out at New York next week. That's right, kids. Next week, Reverend Tech Jedi, Cabo, and Biggie, all at New York Comic Con at the same time. Get ready to hear some guest spots, get some good loot digging, maybe a few commentaries on other podcasts. Gonna hand out some t-shirts. Gonna hand out some
Business cards.
archival copies of the entire run of the Mean Geek podcast on CD.
Wow.
They got a couple of random bumper stickers that a couple of lucky people will receive. Not many. I only got 5, but
So if you'd like one of the 5,
tell us you're going to be at New York Comic Con next week.
find us. We'll give you the Tech Jedi's phone number because no one else calls.
Wait, no, my phone. Leave us a voicemail on Skype, okay?
Again with the Skyping.
What? It's convenient. It's free.
It's weird sounding.
It's internet talking. Well, there's very few internet applications that don't have stupid names.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most popular ones is actually named after a Douglas Adams character. Trillion.
What's that?
That is a chat client.
A what?
Chat client.
So it's like a hooker?
No, jackass. I ain't got time to go into the mechanics of server client applications with you right now.
Oh, thank fuck.
So just deal with the fact that it's used to chat.
Alright. Totally confused. Alright, so what do we got next?
What's next is the new arc on American Vampire, which we have both been enjoying immensely.
It's a fun book. It is a very fun book. This time they go a little more hard-boiled 1940s detective style.
Yeah, 36.
Definitely falling into the Reverend Mad Duck territory with that.
And in Colorado, so it's semi-western as well.
Yeah.
So you can't
Double
really
win.
lose on that.
And
Although, I swear to God, this was Indy Jones half the time I'm looking at this sheriff, though.
You've got Skinner licking candy canes so we can stab people with them, which is still the most strange concept I've heard of in some time.
They don't overplay it, so I'm not going to call it a gimmick, but it just edges real close to it. So we got the sheriff taking care of business, avoiding graft, not getting grifted,
Yeah.
just generally keeping the town clean.
Some Dashiell Hammett Miller's Crossing territory.
Yep, got a little bit of that going on in there. And a desiccated fat guy.
And who doesn't love one of those?
So they got a crime scene. They're just barely trying to figure out forensics. They don't have any idea what they're talking about because it's 1936, which is just fine because they got the bellboy who can tell them all about the potential assailant who everybody thought was a hooker.
Madness.
Unfortunately, I can already see that the sheriff's pregnant wife is going to bite it.
But why?
Why? Because that's what happens to pregnant wives in horror.
Not always. Like, there have to be some babies.
Sometimes there's babies, but then they kill the babies as well, like in Walking Dead.
Wow, you're anti-baby.
What? I don't write this stuff. I just observe the patterns. Don't you tisk and shake your head at me.
Anti-baby.
You try to pull this shit all the time. You twist something around.
Well, yeah.
You say I'm something I'm not.
Yep, totally.
And then you make me argue about you with it.
Yep.
Fuck off.
That's what I do. No, I love this book. Totally recommend it. A lot of fun.
And the only actual vampire thing in there is old boy himself.
Well, the desiccated corpse, one could make an argument for.
Yeah, but we saw her in the opening pages, and that was about it. You know, it's a blonde. They're in Vegas. Actually, it's not even certain the hooker did it. There's a vampire just comes in the open window after the hooker has left. The implication is that it's her.
Well, you gotta blame hookers in Vegas.
But I like the time time periods in this. I like having it set way back. I like a total non-reliance on technobabble and
I love
anything
period
like
stuff.
that.
I was a huge fan of Howard Chaykin's American Century book, as you recall. Stuff like this is totally in my wheelhouse, and I am a big fan.
What the fuck does that phrase mean?
In my wheelhouse?
Yes.
You've heard me use it
I hear
before.
that constantly, but I I get that it
it's
means it's something you really dig
Yes,
and can
it's an
identify
area,
with,
yeah.
but I don't understand why wheelhouse means that.
Well, you have Wikipedia, you have Google, as you were stating earlier. You have many different search engines.
You're the one using the phrase.
And I know what it means, but now it's homework for you, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck
Next
off.
week, we'll be quizzing you on what in the wheelhouse means.
Ugh, I hate you so much.
Yep. Next book.
Zombie. She goes on a date.
The vampires find the other vampire. The were-terrier has revealed himself to his geeky work friend.
Who wants to be bitten?
The ghost makes a picnic. This book is so retarded.
Except for the complete lack of any advancement of story in this particular issue, I still like it.
Why?
Why?
I mean, fine, but what is it about this book that calls to you?
It's a nice twist. It's not trying to be overly heavy. It's not trying to...
Oh, it's definitely not heavy.
It's not trying to depend on too many tropes,
Yeah.
It's being unique without being gimmicky.
I don't know, it feels a little gimmicky.
Where's the gimmick?
The were-terrier,
I don't know.
the 60s mod Barbie go. There's a lot of gimmicks in this book.
No, she's just a ghost. I mean, ghosts can be from any time period. Once they die and become ghosts, they're timeless.
Everything in this book is quirky. Every single thing in this book is intentionally quirky. That is a gimmick.
The one time I decide I dig something quirky and semi-independent, and you give me shit about it.
I'm shocked, really. I mean, you did not overly care for Madman, which was, of course, king of this.
Right.
This is the first alternate book you've ever enjoyed. X-Force or X-Statics or whatever they turned it into made you literally want to stab people in the eye. So I just find it
true.
I can't fathom how suddenly it's
Zombie.
zombie.
Every once in a while, there's something that just smacks you just right, and you dig it.
Okay.
And there are other times that it beats you over the head, and you're like, "Fuck you! I'm not taking that."
Fair enough. As long as you're happy, sir. Next book.
You and Zatanna. You don't like the pacing. You don't like the plot elements. You don't like the denouements.
Well, here we have Zatanna 5.
Yes.
We've got Zatanna with her idiot cousin, who's also a magician.
Yeah.
We've got
the professions
no. Let
sometimes
me
run
finish.
in the
I
family.
have a point here. We've got her idiot cousin, who's also a magician, who she doesn't visit enough.
Yeah.
We've got
Fire demons.
fire demons. We've got a demon working through a casino owner. The casino owner using the demon's powers to make Zatanna fall in love with him.
Yeah.
And reviving the dead.
Sure. So far, I'm not seeing a big deal.
Well, I just described the most fucked up episode of either I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched ever. That's what this book feels like. Bewitched on dope.
There are worse concepts out there. Although I don't ever need to see that little demon thing with the stitched up gut again. I got no need for that.
Fair enough.
It was just a standard mystical adventure tale. I mean, what's the big deal here? Guy made a Faustian bargain. He's trying to work it through so he doesn't get abducted and brought to hell. What's the problem? She figures it out.
It's
She
the
breaks
world's
free.
cutest hell.
It's a what?
This reminds me of the Etrigan comic. The Demon, back in the day.
But you love it.
When Val Zemeckis was doing it. And it was the cute art, and the demon was all smiley. And there was the guy and the girl as pillows and love.
Yeah, and?
I just can't.
You're a huge demon fan. What are you talking about?
I liked Matt Wagner's Demon.
Oh,
I liked
yeah,
Garth
Matt
Ennis's
Wagner's
Demon. I liked, well, pretty much any demon. All right,
yeah, see?
But
yeah.
the cartoony and the hell don't always work for me. In this case, it just doesn't.
See, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it hits you, and you dig it, and everything's cool. And some things just don't grab you at all.
I'm just going to hit you.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I say things now.
Yeah,
I've taken up saying things.
Yeah, say this, motherfucker. Pow!
I don't know what that means.
The Last Zombie #2. So far,
What if you wrote a zombie comic and nothing happened?
Yes, like as you mentioned just before we started recording, most boring zombie book ever.
I mean, it's building to something. Obviously, zombies are going to eat some people. That's clear, but
I don't think we're anywhere close to the last zombie promised in the title, because there's hundreds of them in these pages.
And none of them have done anything.
And the backup thing here in Bastogne again. Can anybody get the fuck away from Bastogne?
No.
Why not? Why can't they get Nazi zombies? Like shooting them.
That was terrible.
Don't need to read them.
The Last Zombie is not terrible. Let me be very clear. It's decently written. They're building up the lead character. The army guys, they have not put enough time, and you can't tell them apart.
It's you can tell that it will probably gel into something.
Yeah, maybe not
readable.
Phenomenal, but readable. But the backup with the Nazi zombies was
No, that was no good.
not for me.
I didn't need that. Huh? Wandering off? All right, in for the home stretch here.
All right, what do we got left?
We got Invincible Iron Man 30. Nice even number. Justine, Hammer, and Tony looking like they're going to get ready to go to town.
They do
while
go
they're
to
driving.
town in a beating the shit out of each other kind of way.
Yeah, but that's eventually. That's like 12 pages in before they get to that.
Well, they're
But
building up to it.
she's desperately trying to seduce him, and LaRocca is killing me with that dress of hers. But
Now, did they ever reveal how what did she do to him to get him to leave? Because there was this weird little, glowy, mojo-y thing happening last issue. And I didn't notice that getting resolved at all.
no, she absorbed a bunch of nano things and took some of his ideas to a different level.
Wow, it's so easy to use
With
the word
the
nano.
extremis, take your pick. I prefer extremis.
Extremis. Potato.
Are you done?
Maybe.
Anyway, so they have their little fight.
Little?
What?
That was a big-ass fight. They blew
That was not a big ass fight at all. It was all of what, a dozen panels?
They blew some shit up.
Ezekiel Stain gave her a bunch of shit. And turned it. She's essentially hiding the armor in her bone marrow like he does.
Right.
Except she doesn't really go armor with it. So, which is mildly clever, but it's still derivative to a small degree. I mean, she could have just strapped something on and done it just as effectively. Oh, I didn't realize I was saying that. Rescue comes to town.
Yeah, because nothing makes a moment worse than the sudden appearance of rescue.
No, then the fight develops. And then Rescue shows up, demands that Hammer power down, and she's like, oh, fine, whatever. There's two of you now. I'm not going to fight both of you. Fuck it. That sounds exactly like something she would have said.
All right, fair enough.
And you know it. And they find out that Detroit Steel now has a web app.
Yeah, well, they've been
the
building that
iPhone,
for a while.
But now it's in charge. It's actually deployed. Doofuses are out there thinking they're playing a game and really tearing shit up and killing people.
Yep.
And in a bit, no, is that what I think it is? Let me back up. I'm not sure what I just remembered. Oh, yes. They're using one of the kids' iPhones while they're at the proving track for the supercar.
Right.
They use that to zero in one of the drones that the other goofballs out in the universe are controlling with their iPhones.
Right.
And it looks like it hits the car. Do you think it hits the car? I
I'm
don't
betting
think it hits
does.
the car.
I mean, in the movie he has his car blown up, so it only, comics eventually has to.
Poor Pepper doesn't have her armor on. She can't go rescue him. I don't know. It's been quite consistent. I'm amazed that Fraction has even stayed on for 30 issues.
I really enjoy Invincible Iron Man. It's a really good book. It fits into the universe while still having its own niche. I would like to see a little more action, a little less we're going to build cars at this point. The worldly Tony is just not as much fun to read.
30 issues for that pair. Both, the artist and the writer. That's almost unheard of in the last decade.
No, it's a very good read. I totally enjoy it. I would like to see some more guys in metallic suits punching guys in metallic suits. So.
Oh yeah, a bunch of fisticuffs running around. You know, a few laser beams. You know, a couple of unibeams.
There you go. You know, and some Mandarin. Where's
some
the
Mandarin? Bring the Mandarin back.
Yeah,
show me
it was
Titanium
hinted at him.
Man.
There was an annual. Want some goddamn Mandarin?
Show me Radioactive Man. No, that's Bart Simpson. Wow. It was Titanium Man.
Crimson Dynamo.
And there was another radiation-based Chinese character he used to fight.
No, that everybody fought that dude. The giant green guy with no hair.
Yeah. Remember who the hell he is?
Radioactive Man.
The radiological guy?
There you go. No, he really is Radioactive Man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not kidding. That was
all right.
Sadly, that's not a made up.
Now, see, this is another thing that I hate about this.
And where's the living goddamn laser?
Yeah, bring him around. Wait, why?
Because he's awesome.
No,
he's
I'm
a
fucking
laser
with you. I'm behind you on that. I was just screwing with you. See, this is another thing I hate about Justin Hammer. I mean, we're just reading all this cool stuff, all this devious business stuff that his daughter and granddaughter are doing and all this neat shit. And in the movie, he comes out dancing a fucking jig to a weapons demonstration.
Sweet.
What CEO has ever tried to do that?
Tony?
No.
He did have a kick line.
Yeah, but that was his own expo. It was this huge celebration of technology. Hammer's trying to sell death.
Hammer's trying to be Tony.
It ain't working.
Well, that's the point.
Because, see, the dancers did the dancing for Tony. Tony didn't do the dancing.
He jigged a little bit.
When he was drunk in the party later on, that wasn't him. That wasn't the demonstration.
I think you're splitting hairs. Robot hairs.
Robots don't have hairs.
And there's your title.
Drone's better.
Alright, so what do we got next?
I was really hoping these were mandroids, though.
Yes, I remember you talking about that. You were hoping for mandroids.
I was really hoping that they would say, these are, the military model mandroids. That would have been pretty cool. A nice throw to the history of robotics in the Marvel Universe. But no, they're just drones. Boring. The Eye of Agamotto and the Ancient One claiming to have it stolen by Stephen Strange.
Can I be honest? I hate the New Avengers right now. I loved the New Avengers. I want to love the New Avengers. Stephen Strange and the Avengers do not make for a lot of fun.
Especially with Damon Hellstrom running around.
Ooh, no one likes that dude.
Nobody
and
likes
Brother
that guy.
Voodoo?
Brother Voodoo could have had a lot of potential.
When? When exactly? Jericho Drum, Brother Voodoo could have had... I want you to think about that sentence.
Before they actually put him on paper. When they were developing the character, he had a lot of potential.
No, he didn't. Think about the whole their development.
He's just a mystic.
His brother dies, and he's in touch with his brother's voodoo spirit.
That doesn't sound that far out for a comic book.
Doesn't make it good potential. No, I'm sorry, but Brother Voodoo Sorcerer Supreme, just give it to Stephen Strange, let him go away again, and then next time you have a big mystical villain, have him show up and go, oh yeah, that's why he's good at this.
Yeah, I'll save the day.
No, not even save the day, just throw some mystical know-how in there so they can hit him with something. Here, wrap your fist in this cloak, then punch him. I have to go. I have to save the universe from Rintra.
Rintra. Wow, a Rintra reference.
Yes. No, I'm
Although
sorry.
I gotta say, they made the War Machine armor look phenomenal.
It's very impressive looking. But, no, I like Stephen Strange. I was a big Doctor Strange fan.
Yes, especially during that whole Colin period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Colin's amazing. His Tomb of Dracula stuff is ridiculously good. But I just feel that the new Avengers hasn't felt like the Avengers since this book was revamped.
No, it really hasn't. The Avengers seems like it would be very Avengers-ish.
But really, all people are punching them, and it's all about...
I mean, the
Brother
rest of the
Voodoo,
Avengers are
Doctor
just a
Strange.
distraction right now. They're not anywhere close to anything that's important going on. And Danny Rand coming back all in white and accusing Doctor Strange.
Well, he's the White Lantern.
Wrong company.
I kind of knew that. But were you expecting that?
I was
Iron
expecting
Fist.
you to say some shit like that.
No, come on.
No.
Though. Think of how great that would be. Like, it's a cross-company promotion.
But why Iron Fist?
Why not? He's pure of heart.
Okay.
Think about it. It's the last person anybody expected. Danny Rand is the White Lantern. And there's your other possible title.
No.
Imagine how powerful the Iron Fist would be with a White Lantern ring at
You
the
think
end
we'll
of it.
actually meet Agamotto now?
Probably. He's probably shown up before. I mean, everybody else is... give him a weird name and sooner or later they show up and say something. He's probably Dormammu's long-lost stepfather.
Scarlet #2 finally gave me a little bit of character to it.
So, now we've gone from a sad tale to a tale of revenge.
Which is pretty standardized.
Yeah.
But
She hates the cop that killed her boyfriend and ruined her life.
and she comes to the realization that nothing is ever as it seems, and nothing is ever going to be good because people are generally fucking bastards.
So she shoots him.
Sure. So she goes out to fight. She's very Punisher-like in that.
My question is, where's this going to go?
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that too, because if they are going to go the Punisher route, we've had enough characters attempt that.
There's a lot of people shooting people out there. And admittedly, they don't seem to be destroying her, making her this, grim, demon-faced. She's very logical and just upset and annoyed. And I get that, but, she's already killed the cop, and there's like 3 other names on her list. Is this a miniseries where she gets through the name?
Well, it ain't telling us it's a miniseries.
If it's going elsewhere, is it just going to be her? I'm confused. I'm not unintrigued. I think this was a big step forward from issue 1.
Yes.
But what is the scope of this book? The world is crappy. Let me shoot people.
It's a mystery. And if
And you've been missing mysteries since Bad Dick took over.
She takes $700,000 from the crooked cop so that she can go on her revenge trip.
How fucking crooked a crooked cop are you to have $700,000?
Well, that depends.
You have to be like the most crooked. Like, I took the Lindbergh baby crooked.
That depends. I was rather unimpressed with $700,000 actually.
Really?
Yes.
You have that lying
The
around
thing-
your sock drawer, do you?
No, it's just that unless he was squandering it, or gambling it away, or blowing it on coke and whores, $700,000 over that many years of drug bribes doesn't sound.
Dude, how freaking much do you think they're bribing him with?
There's a lot of drug money, man. They'll go to great lengths to keep as much dough as they can. Even paying. Well, if he's been doing this shit for a decade, that's only $70,000 a year.
I don't know.
If I was gonna risk that much to let drug runners stay on the street, I would want at least $10,000 a pop.
Well, you're very kind in the way that you defend drug dealers, apparently. I don't know. It seems like a lot of fucking fucked up money.
I'm not turning my head as a cop for a fin. Fuck that.
What, fish are involved?
No, dummy. A sawbuck. A double sawbuck. None of that shit.
What decade are we in?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Madman.
I'll tell you who's a madman. Fucking Joe Quesada's a goddamn madman. He could not possibly have bored me any more with One Moment in Time.
I don't like One Moment in Time. Let me just get that out of the way. But I do think they've taken the worst thing to happen, the second worst thing to happen to Spider-Man. There's still the Clone Saga. And they've resolved it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, they finally revealed exactly what went on. Everybody knows by now. We're not going to go into it because if you cared about One Moment in Time, you've read it at this point. But if you didn't, you don't give a fuck.
There's some great writing in here. I don't like this storyline at all. But they took the Sentry and encapsulated that story so that you had Iron Man, Reed Richards, and Doctor Strange debating what they did to the Sentry and if it was acceptable to do in Spider-Man's case.
Yes.
And doing it for the opposite reasons, to do the right thing for one person as opposed to the right thing for everyone.
And that I did appreciate.
So
they know Peter. They're close with Peter. They're friends with Peter. They've depended on Peter. Peter's depended on them.
Man felt
there was
owed
no
him,
reason they shouldn't have done that for him.
There was a lot going on in this book, and some of it was very clever. But at the end of the day, it's a really good way to resolve a really bad storyline, and that can only be mediocre in the end.
Yes. So, that leaves us with the next potentially cool arc. Or not.
I did see the Spot, so I'm going with not right off the top.
The Spot. Amazing Spider-Man 642 down to $2.99. Very happy about that.
Wow.
I like that.
Sad that
I'm still not as happy as I was when I was buying them for 75 cents a pop. But, you know, what are you going to do?
You do make more now.
It's 25 years later. And I have bigger appetites now. So.
You.
What?
I'm just guessing.
I eat a lot more.
Oh, we all know.
I didn't say interesting appetites. I just said bigger.
So, we open with the classic bunch of random villains
being gathered together for a nefarious purpose that isn't quite explained just yet, and told that they can have any damn thing they want if they just go out and get this objective.
And we don't know what it is.
Nobody knows what it is.
And then we immediately break
because
to Peter.
That's mystery.
Then we immediately break to Peter Parker trying to date a hot chick that likes him despite all of his behavior.
Yes.
So here we're suddenly going right back into classic Spider-Man.
Straight up, everything
and the villains
you've ever read Spider-Man.
The villains are horrible. I mean, go back to the original panel. Who's Diablo is in there?
We got Diablo, the Spot, Sandman, Vermin, Electro, Morbius, Paladin? Who the fuck is that? I don't know. Mysterio and the guy with the helmet? I don't know who that is. The helmet, the gun.
Trapster? I don't even know.
That's not the Trapster. Paste Pot Pete looks a lot different than that.
But now the downside of this, of course, is that some of these guys simply don't belong. Vermin and Mobius.
They don't need to be there. What was this mysterious benefactor going to promise those two? Really?
You don't have to live in the sewer and be a rat anymore.
Yes.
But
that would be his answer.
Plus, isn't the Spot dead?
I don't remember. It's the Spot. Who gives a good
I
goddamn
thought
about the Spot?
Tombstone killed him.
Probably.
In that, what was it? That Spider-Man side project book for a while. With the random ones. Like the Grizzly dating the Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what are you talking? Oh, yep, I do know that storyline.
Tangled
sadly.
Web of
Yes.
Spider-Man. Yes. I
I
remember
could've
that with
sworn
Flowers for Rhino.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
But I could have sworn there was a storyline that involved Tombstone breaking out of prison using Rocket Racer and some other gems. And the kangaroo getting anally raped.
The kangaroo. Great.
Yes, go out and find it, kids. It's a hell of a storyline.
You know, I gotta tell you, I mean, it's a good start, even though they brought back Goblinita.
Yes, Menace makes an appearance. It is the return of Goblinita. But she's key to the storyline because what is the
She
idea
actually
after?
counts. Now, we finally find out the objective is her and Norman Osborn's baby because she took some of the Goblin formula. And, of course, we all know that Norman originated and, therefore, took the Goblin formula. So the body chemistry in this kid must be phenomenal for making superpowers.
And being mentally fucked up.
Yes, that child is going to...
Like, what a horrible...
In Amazing Spider-Man 10,005, he's going to... The April issue, he's
Mr. Goblinita!
He's going to come back for revenge on the entire universe. He's going to be Sentry-like in his powers.
Of pure fuck-it-up-inness.
Pure fuck-it-up-inness. Okay, you can't speak anymore.
I don't know how else to say it. But the fact of the matter is that there's a whole level of crazy involved here.
Yeah, imagine how unstable that kid's going to be.
Like, he's literally a baby, and he's sitting there going, "Goo goo, kill something." Like, that's fucking creepy. Like,
I got my mind, I'm a murder, and a murder on my mind.
Fuck you, I won't rattle what you tell me.
Change my diaper, bitch.
Yeah, horrible. And we can only assume that Goblinita is an unfit mother.
Oh, you know what? You know who else shows up is fucking Shocker.
I love the Shocker, dude. That's like that's one of those classic villains. You know how everybody has a secret crush on certain characters? Like, yeah, like I know he's wretched and his costume is ridiculous. And
you have a Shocker crush?
Oh, dude, he's hysterical.
It was one of the first Spider-Man books I ever picked up. Was the reprint series,
yeah, the Marvel Tales.
Classic.
You gave it to me.
No, I didn't. That was a copy I picked up years later.
Oh, fair.
This was in '85.
Okay.
I picked this up. One of the very first ones ever. And I re-got it because I had the whole nostalgia thing going, oh my god, I had that one.
Yep. Awesomeness. But yeah, the Shocker, just a great guy. But, you know, and teaming up with Tombstone, like, that's not a bad plan or anything.
No, Tombstone, I wouldn't, it wouldn't really bother me to never see Tombstone again. Ron Friends.
Worst Spider-Man villain all time. Can't pick a symbiote.
I can't pick a symbiote. Great. That leaves me with
thousands.
Yeah, I don't. No,
I have two. I have to choose between. So
I don't think Vermin's a good villain at all because he doesn't really work as a villain. He does things that oppose Spider-Man.
Not even close to the top worst, though.
Oh yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah. Worst Spider-Man villain. Worst by annoying or worst by
you can pick your own criteria.
Not a fucking challenger.
Well, I think usually when they're annoying, they're not a challenger. I mean, you could go Humbug.
Oh my god.
You forgot about Humbug.
Cardiac.
Dude, that was one of my two! Holy crap!
Cardiac was so fucking useless.
And you know what the worst thing is? I'm going to go with my other choice. I was deciding between the two. And I guarantee that you hate my other choice more than you hate Cardiac.
Okay.
Puma.
Christ in heaven, I had almost purged that from my mind. It was bad enough I had to remember Cardiac.
Cardiac and Puma, I was sitting there like, oh god.
I'm surprised neither of them are in the background somewhere.
You know what would have made more sense than Vermin or Mobius.
But you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry. I know this guy is professional enough to have been hired, but I really don't ever want to see Paul Azaceta's art in Spider-Man again.
Didn't care for it?
No, absolutely not.
It was very cartoony, which I didn't think worked for the scope of this book. And of course, the big reveal is who's looking for Goblinita's baby. Dr. Octopus.
Yeah. Didn't we establish that already?
I didn't hear you say it. We talked about it before the podcast, so. But, and at least they went with the, now creepy comatose Dr. Octopus. Where the limbs are the only thing moving and his, twitching, flabby, pale bodies.
And they're using him, they're speaking through him, etc., etc.
Yeah, at least it's not a chick anymore.
Yeah, they needed to leave that crap alone. But, I mean, his composition was fine. You could tell what was happening. The story was told in the images just fine. I don't think I've ever seen Peter with such big ears or lips before. ever anywhere.
I can't honestly say I've looked.
Well, I mean, it's right here.
No, I've never looked for a comparative one. I was like, I know that you have like graphs like Peter's ears are biggest in this issue.
I do not have
I do
graphs
not do things
like that. Stop that. And I run many risks with the next few sentences.
Oh, good.
But I shouldn't even bother.
Oh, you have to now. You've dug a
Peter
hole.
looks amazingly Hispanic for such a white boy.
I want
Try
nothing.
again. Take a look.
Nope. Don't want nothing to do with this conversation. Don't even know you anymore.
I am not trying to say that I can't handle a Hispanic Spider-Man. Not saying that at all. But he doesn't look like the nerdy wallflower white boy that I've known for 25 years.
Well, there's always going to be some artistic interpretation. I didn't take that away from this, but obviously I didn't think it was the strongest art I've ever seen either. I didn't have quite the problem you with it, but everything hinges on story for me. Art is a encapsulated part of it for me, whereas you take a bigger focus on the art. And of course, back in the day, Dan the Man, much bigger focus on art.
Oh yeah,
than
he was huge about it. He'd let damn near anything get away if it looked pretty enough.
Yeah, which is the
He'd let Ernie Chan put 12 arrows through people's necks and Conan's in 4 pages, and he'd be like, "It looks good." Yeah, but he used the same thing 4 times, and no, it just looks good.
It did look awesome.
Not taken away from Ernie Chan, but he did have tropes that he liked to reuse a lot.
Wow,
and the arrow through the neck.
2 tropes references.
What? Gimmicks? I said that 5 times. I can't use that again.
I'm just saying.
He has these themes he likes to use over and over and over again.
For the next
biggest
episode,
of which
I want you to
is the
slide
arrow
in
through the neck.
Presbyterian as many times as you can.
Presbyterian?
Yep. That's your challenge.
I'm going to have to look up to see if there's any Presbyterian heroes now. Or villains.
Quaker men! Tithe me!
And I think, kids, that we've established that we have gone exactly as far as we can go tonight.
We're going to end on Quaker Man, really?
Sure, why not?
Wow.
What else you got?
The
you got
Pilgrim
something else?
Superhero?
The Pilgrim Superhero. That would be a Puritan, not a Quaker.
I know it's funnier my way, though. Plus, the turkey sidekick is awesome.
The turkey sidekick. Maybe that's the title.
The Gobbler.
The Gobbler. The turkey sidekick is awesome. Kids, don't forget you can find us anywhere on the web if you just fucking look.
Or in person next week.
At New York Comic Con. Enjoy yourselves. Look for a bumper sticker.
Bless you, fuckers.
Get an archive. And what? Just generally have a good night, I suppose.
Drink more fish.
You can't drink fish, dude.
Well, then don't do that.
Drink beer. Drink more beer.
Only if you're appropriately aged.
And not driving anywhere. Ta-da! Good night.
I just said up yours, baby.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. You can find us on iTunes, Podcast Alley, Facebook, Comic Space, our own site, www.themeangeek.com. Subscribe to us through RSS, and most importantly, find us as a proud member on the Comics Podcast Network. Contact us directly through email at themeanergeek@gmail.com.